I am your girl, Dr. B. So go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. And if you know someone that's over 50, share this episode with them because, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to share with you what we do to feel better and look younger. And like I said, I'll need for you guys to share as well. So thank you again. And thank you for being a part of the JMB family. Thank you.
All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and like Doc B said, over 50 and looking younger. So we're
Hmm.
gonna we're gonna dive right into it. And when you're over 50, a lot of strange things happen. Like what are some of the things, Doc B?
Okay, guys. So from laughing at your knees making noise. These are things, I used to have problems with my knees, Broker J3, but I don't anymore because there are natural things that you can do that can help you with your knees. Okay. To real talk about health, we're going to talk about style because I love clothing. I love shopping. I don't know any woman that does not. Relationships and confidence. This ride, we're going to take you guys on a ride that's packed with wisdom. I didn't get to be 59 just by coincidence. We're going to talk about just some things that make you feel better overall. So shout out to you and to our J&B Live podcast family. Thank you guys for joining
All
us.
right, guys. Doc B might have told you guys she's 59 yesterday. Your boy
Uh,
turned 56. So again, being over 50 doesn't mean it's the end of the world, and doesn't mean that you have to look like your grandparents. It's
yeah.
funny because one of my classmates had made a comment on my Facebook page and said, it's so amazing when we were younger, 50 looked like somebody's grandparent, and now here we are over 50, almost 60, and we definitely don't look like how our grandparents did when they were the age we are now. So remember, guys, keep tapping that screen,
Yes.
dropping those comments, and sending those gifts so that we can reach our gift goal. And share this live with someone who's trying to stay fly, sexy, grown and sexy after 50. We are available everywhere on social media, and also on all podcast apps such as YouTube, Bigo Live, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Amazon Music, TikTok, or wherever you get your social media and podcast entertainment.
Okay, guys. Now, some of you may can attest to this. You are over 50, or some of you may be over 40, but we're talking about 50 today. And you may not even feel your age. And that's how I feel. I have to remind myself sometimes that I am almost 60 years old because I don't feel it. So that's a good thing when you don't feel your age. And Broker J3 just said it a few minutes ago. A lot of people that are our age are just aging gracefully. And that's what we want to do. We want to take care of our skin. We want to take care of our bodies so that we don't look our age. Now, if some of you don't mind looking older, that's perfectly okay. That's you. You can, if that's what you choose to do, that's perfectly okay. But we're talking about looking good and feeling and better aging over the age of 50. So thank you guys again for joining us.
All right, guys. What's up, family? Again, welcome back to another fire episode of the
Yes.
J&B Live podcast. I am your boy, your uncle, that guy, Broker J3.
And I am your girl, your favorite auntie, Dr. B. And listen, today's topic, over 50, looking younger and feeling better. Baby, if you thought your best years were behind you, we're about to prove you wrong, because guess what? I know them cougars are out there, and I know these guys that are older who are pulling these young babes as well because they don't look their age. So shout out to you. You're welcome to join us as well and share what you're thinking in the comment section too. So okay, guys, so join in, hit that like, that share, and that subscribe.
All right, guys. So that's right. So over 50 doesn't mean over the hill like it used to. It means you're over the drama. It means you're over the nonsense. It means your tolerance level is at zero.
Yeah.
And into the season of wisdom and glow ups.
Yes, and he mentioned it. My patience It's not like it used to be. You know, I guess you get to a certain age and you just don't put up with certain things that you used to tolerate. And that's a good thing because now you know better. You know, you do better. And that's okay. So before we get started, guys, y'all know what to do. Hit that like button again. Drop your age in the comment. If you want to share a picture with us, you can do that as well. And tell us where you're watching from. Maybe you're in the ATL, maybe you're in Los Angeles, the DMV. Shout out your city so we can shout you right back. Okay, guys?
That's right, guys. And remember, over 50 ain't over the hill. It just means that you're over that drama.
Yeah, no more drama. Okay, guys, the funny side of aging, you know, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get a little dive a little deep. Let's just admit it. After 50, some things do hit a little different, guys. And that's nothing wrong with things hitting different. That's okay. Like walking down the stairs. Some people said walking up the stairs hurt their knees. You don't have to sprint anymore. You're not in a hurry. You just calculate, you know, you just take your time doing things, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, there's plenty of people that are under 50 that can run up and down stairs, that can outwalk you, me and you both. So just because you're over 50 doesn't mean that you're automatically having these problems, but some of you may have experienced them.
Okay, Jean says she's on the East Coast, New
Okay.
York.
All right. Hey, Jean, how are you this
Welcome,
evening?
welcome.
Shout out to you, girl.
And you know, that's big facts, Doc B. You know, sometimes you just gotta stop and hold the rail. You know, I do it all the time. Sometimes I even look down like it's a math test just to make sure I'm not missing a step. You know, and it's not always. It's for me personally. It's not always that I'm more concerned about falling because of my step. It's more so because, you know, these old knees and ankles, sometimes they want to give out on me just for no reason at all. So, you know, that first step feels like, you know, skydiving sometimes. You know, you just got to take that jump.
And guys, I have to admit this. Well, thank you for your gifts, guys. I have to admit this. And, you know, a lot of people tell you, and it's true. If you participated in any sports when you were younger, chances are, guess what, guys? You're going to have problem with them knees, and you're going to have problem with them hips. And not just the 60s, people are getting hip replacement surgeries. Some people are getting knee replacement surgeries. I've even heard people say, I got some brand new knees.
Yeah, Charles Wilson did that. You know, it's so funny because you know, before his surgery, you know, he was in a wheelchair for a brief minute, you know, even singing on stage with his wheelchair. And then, you know, his last concert, you know, he was hopping around and dancing. He got them new knees.
Yeah, he got some new knees. And you know what? I went to see Charlie Wilson. He was in Atlanta. And he couldn't perform and he kept saying his knees were hurting and that he was going to have the surgery. And I said, I'm never going to see Charlie Wilson again. And then I saw him at his last concert, just the highlights of it, you know, where people were sharing, and he was moving like he had no problems with those knees.
That's right. We got to go check out Uncle Charlie.
Yes. Okay, guys. So you sit down sometime and you feel that, and then you stand up and then you say, Lord have mercy, baby, them grunts come free with the package. And that's okay, because some people in their 50s and above are having problems sitting down and getting up. It comes with age. But the key to it is we're going to be talking about looking good and feeling better. And then, like I say, those knee problems we talked about earlier, we talked about maybe some other problems that you may be having. Most of the time, there's something naturally that you can take to help you with those problems, just to ease those problems. I'm not going to say they're going to completely eliminate, but they can help ease those problems.
That's right.
I always seek natural products.
So we appreciate the gift, Ray Charles.
Thank you.
We see you, Ray Charles.
All right.
We see you, Ray Charles.
He just had to say that, right?
All right. Soul Angel, Misha, Plushie, Christopher, Imbu. You know, we appreciate you guys. We got multiple platforms going, guys. So just kind of be a little patient with us. Sometimes we may miss you guys, but we really appreciate you guys joining us.
Okay. Hey, George Michael. And shout out, guys. Let us know if you know someone that does not look 50. Shout out to them. Shout out to that person, if they're taking care of themselves and they don't look their age. And like I said, one thing about our skin, I'm not just, but that's just true. We usually age better. And a lot of time we don't have all of the wrinkles. And I'm just keeping it real. Sometimes the other race, they tend to age a little bit more with the wrinkles and stuff, because I know I have some classmates now. I don't even recognize my classmates, but they all recognize who I am.
Exactly. That's right. And sometimes guys, I'm sure you guys have with that age sometimes come those little grunts. It's kind of universal actually. And if you're over 50, like me and Doc B, sometimes you ain't grunting when you're standing up. Sometimes happening when you laying down.
Okay, so this is a comment from a Gen Z, and Gen Z said, "My mom makes that sound too, and she's only 42." I mentioned that it's not just 50 or above. Sometimes it affects people that are in their 40s as well. I don't know anybody in their 30s that's grunting, but there may be. So if it is, please share with us.
Yeah. And big ups to Loving Myself. We appreciate
Thank you for your gifts.
Thank you so much. Make sure you guys follow our top gifters. We really appreciate them, and we want you guys to follow them as well. Okay. And that's kind of funny, Dot B, because it's amazing how the trend changes through the decades, because in your 20s you still feel like you're in your teens, you still got all that energy moving around, and then in your 30s you don't quite slow down. You feel like you're actually in your prime when you're in your 30s. For some reason it just feels like you're stronger, you feel more healthier. But then when you hit those 40s, you start noticing little small things. You're slowing down just a little bit. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you get that little crook in your neck, but normally it'll go away in a few hours. Now it's taking a few days, and then over 50, it's like, everything is like having some issues. You can't hear like you used to. You might need to go get you some glasses.
Oh gosh.
It's that knee, especially like you said, if you was in sports. Those things start to really start getting at you. And Lord, don't been done had an accident previously, when you was younger, because when you get older, all of that seems to come back at you.
Yeah. So shout out to the mom that's having some issues with grunting at 42. She's just in training early. She's practicing up getting ready prior to her 50s. But tell her to welcome to the 50s club. Just get ready and embrace it. Some people try to hide their ages. I have never been one to try to hide my age. I'm willing to tell anyone how old I am, because I'm thankful for the 59 years that God has given me on this earth. So I don't try to hide it. Now, one thing that I do, and I tell people, I don't have a problem with it. I will wear hair color, because of the fact that, if they keep making it, I'm going to use it. That's just one thing about me. I am going to do that. But other than that, then I will not hide my age, and I'm grateful to be 59 years old. Okay, guys. So just think about the person that just became 42, almost 50, having some of the 50-ish issues. She's got her membership card and she's just waiting to gravitate to her 50s, and she may experience some more issues as well.
All right, guys. So we got a comment here. If you don't grunt when you get up, are you even really over 50?
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay, guys. So don't get me started on forgetting why you walked into the kitchen. Okay. So we're gonna shift gears a little bit. We're away from the grunting, but I will go in the kitchen or the bedroom and say, "Now, dang, why did I come in here?" That happens all the time. Yes, and another thing I do too, I have Post-it pads. I have to write down, because I don't like to forget. So I'll have a Post-it pad to make sure that I don't forget what I'm supposed to do. And if I went in the kitchen and I can't remember, I went in there for water, but I came out with a cookie, like that was the mission all along. I'll do that. I even do that in the grocery store. I'll go in the grocery store for one thing and I come out of the grocery store with another. Then I'm like, I didn't go in the grocery store for this.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
And shout out to Peso Man. He said he's 55 and he's not ashamed of it. Hey, don't never be ashamed of how old you are. It's funny because again, I just stated yesterday was my 56th birthday, and I did post it on my social media, and it was kind of amazing because one one of my younger kids, asked me, why did you post that? Let everybody know how old you are.
Why
not? And I had to let them know that it's no shame in God allowing you to see that many years of life. Because come on, guys, we know it's a lot of people didn't make it to 50. You know what I mean? And true story, my father, passed away 2 months after he turned 50. So, it's a blessing to still be here, on this earth after that time period. So you guys, we appreciate, thank you, Ja. It's okay. That was back in 98. I thank God for the life that he did have. I think about him all the time, but that's why it's so important for us, to really reverence how we take care of ourselves.
It's very important.
And it's mentally, physically, and even spiritually. All of those things correlate together to be able to have that wellness about yourself. Man, I'll park at Walmart sometime, like Doc B said, and I'll go shop, and then I'll walk out like, where's my car? I don't even know the car. Sometimes I try to use the app. So I could try to remember, where the car was. But the strangest thing is I can remember all the lyrics of Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah. So that's what's called selective memory. He's remembering what he wants to remember. And yes, what it is. Yes. So Bill's. Hold on a second. That's grandson.
All right, guys. Doc B will be back in a minute. She had a grandson over, and he's ready to get back home. That's another thing, guys. The blessing about being grandparents. I have 3 grandkids myself, and the blessing about it is, after you spend that time with them, you can send them back home. You can send them back home. You can say, hey, it's time to come pick them up. They don't wore me out. I'm tired. So, but it was different when with the kids, but with the grandkids, we tend to want to spend a little bit more time with them. Wish I was a little bit closer to my grandkids. Recently, I moved, and I'm a little bit further away, a few hours from them. So, I try to get to them as much as I can. But nonetheless, Doc B will be back with us momentarily. But again, in regards to, I definitely have to follow you guys. Yeah, definitely follow us, Peso Man. We are here. We are definitely here. So you definitely feel free to follow us. We have some amazing content on YouTube as well. So make sure you go to YouTube at Live with J and B, and you'll be able to get all of the great content that we have. And we usually go live Tuesdays and Thursdays, but over the last month, we've been going live maybe 3 or 4 days out the week. We're actually getting ready to start season 2, where we're going to start having live panels. So we're going to start inviting you guys up to the live so we can have these discussions with you guys.
Okay, guys, I apologize for that. I got my youngest grandson with me, and he wanted to share with me that he was ready to go home. But back to Broker J3, he said he can remember the lyrics of Earth, Wind, and Fire, but sometimes he can't remember where he parked when he's coming out of Walmart. And I said that's selective memory, and I tell him all the time he remembers what he wants to remember. He can remember songs from 1979. That's crystal clear to him, but he can't remember where he parked.
Yeah, it's so amazing. I guess enjoying music, growing up, especially gospel music. growing up, gospel and R&B and even jazz. It is amazing. I can't believe the plethora of music that I can remember literally without a thought in my head, but yet, you know, we can have a conversation a couple of days ago and I'm trying to remember, did we really even talk? You know, it's just, sometimes it's just really amazing.
Baker Mayfield says, how come everybody was on this app with your neighbor? I'm not sure what that means. Mayfield, please be specific and let us know further what you mean. But thank you for joining us. Okay, Chicago is in the building, 55 and still running marathons. Oh, that's awesome.
You know, it's a lot of older folks that are still running marathons. It's absolutely amazing. I think I'll take that 2K walk. I'll do that.
I can do the walking myself.
I'll take that 2K walk. You know, Chicago, what's up? That's Black Don't Crack and Hustle Don't Stop. Okay.
I like it.
Big ups to Chicago. Love this city. Got some people in Chicago and even a little south of Chicago in Joliet, you know, where that Prius is at. We ain't gonna talk about that. All right now.
Okay, guys. So we see you guys and we hear you. And go ahead and, you know, send us those comments. Keep them coming. Keep those gifts coming. We appreciate it. And we would love to see your comments, guys. Okay, now we're going to talk about the health and lifestyle habits because we're talking about looking good and feeling better. So when we take a deeper dive into that particular topic, we want to discuss the health and the lifestyle hacks. And we're going to share with you some of the things that we do. And maybe please share with us if you're doing something that makes you feel healthier and you think it makes you look better. Please share with the rest of the audience so that, you know, we can share that information and we can comment because we all want to help each other.
Exactly. And Doc, you're so right. You know, let's get serious about that for a moment. Health is wealth, especially once you done hit that 50 year mark. You know, after 50, you can't play with it. You know, I tell my kids all the time, you know, my oldest son, he's 37. And he said, Dad, he said, I just don't understand it. He said, I'm getting older, but you look like you keep getting younger. And I tell him, I said, son, I started when I was in my 30s, taking my health serious. Do not wait until a doctor tell you that this is wrong, your cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes, whatever the case may be. Don't wait till somebody tell you that that's a problem because it's going to be harder to fix. Think about health is wealth now. If you're in your teens, your 20s, your 30s, think about that health now. Do not wait till you over 50.
And I can't stress it enough. Now, my sons, I often get a comment that said, I don't look like I'm old enough to have a 37-year-old, 38-year-old, which my oldest son is 37, I think. I forget sometimes. And my youngest son is 30. So a lot of people say, well, you don't look like you have a 30-year-old. Yeah, I do have a 30-year-old. But my son, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna share their business. They'll be mad at me later, but I don't care. They smoke. So that's one of the reasons they probably look older than they actually are, because that tends to age people. It's statistic that shows you that smoking has can be hazardous to your health. And not just smoking. A lot of kids now are tell you, well, Mama, I know he used to say, Mama, I don't smoke. I just smoke black. I just smoke Black and Mild. Well, guess what? Black and Mild is worse than regular cigarettes. And then this new evolution with these what is it called? The vaping
cigarettes.
That's more addictive than the regular cigarettes. Come on, guys. So it's going to tend to make you look older than what you actually are. So that's one of the hacks that we don't do. Neither one of us smoke. And so we recommend that if you do, that you definitely stop smoking. Now, I have had a brother that passed away from lung cancer, and he knew he had lung cancer, but at the end, he couldn't stop smoking. And now, was that primarily his fault? To a certain extent, it was his fault. But remember, a long time ago, they didn't tell people what was in the cigarettes when they started introducing them to people. People just smoking cigarettes, but they knew that nicotine in there was addictive. And people had a hard time breaking that habit. And he was one of them.
Yeah. And, you know, and some people, you know, I hate to say it, some people say, well, you're going to die anyway.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. We're all going to die. but why take extra years off of your life if you don't have to? Again, you got to think to yourself that health is wealth.
All right, all eyes know. Thank you for joining us, Bree and Tulis. Thank you, and thank you for our gift givers, guys. You're on it tonight. Magisha, thank you as well. We appreciate everyone that's joining us. Also, we have let's see, I can't see this name hardly.
Multiple
platform, guys. So thank you guys for joining us.
Patient with us.
Yes, and Candy, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your support, and thank you guys for being a part of the JMB family. And thank you for tuning in to this episode of Over 50, Looking Good and Feeling Better. Okay, guys. So now, prevention is cheaper than prescriptions. Let me say it again. Prevention is cheaper than prescription. For those of you in the back, you need to prevent some of the diseases that you may have so that it does not lead to a bunch of prescriptions. Because guess what? All medicines that you take have what? Side effects. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the side effects are worse than the problem that you have from the beginning, the reason why you're taking the medicine. And so the side effects are worse. So if you can prevent some of the illnesses or diseases or whatnot, then you want to do that beforehand.
Yeah, and you guys probably might need to clip that right there and let that go viral. Prevention is cheaper than prescriptions because it really is, guys. And again, I can't stress it enough. Guys, start early. Do not wait until it's too late. Mm-hmm. So, Doc B, so what are some of the things that you can do to start working on a healthier lifestyle?
Okay. So simple stuff, guys. Drink a lot of water. Well, drink your water. I have heart problems, so I can't drink but so much water a day, but I drink enough water. A lot of people don't drink water at all. And you can tell when people don't drink water because water affects your skin. Sometimes it'll have your skin to where it's kind of dryish. You need that moisture. You want to walk. I recommend you walk 5 days a week, even if you don't walk for 30 minutes a day. A lot of people think they got to walk 3 and 4 miles, but you don't. When I walk with my friend Miss Luella, we're walking, and people from time to time say, well, I'm gonna go walking with y'all, and they'll go walking with us. And we were walking at one time like 5 days a week, and we cut it down to 4. But they felt like they had to go walking with us every day, but you don't. If you don't walk but 3 days a week, 30 minutes and do 30 minutes a day, that's still good. Don't beat yourself up if you don't do all 5 days. You also want to cut down on your sugar intake.
That's number one. Yes. That's number one, guys. If you ever want to go on a challenge, go on the no sugar challenge. That's probably going to be something that'll change your life.
Yes. And somebody said repeat in French. Okay. Now, we're talking about sugar. I'm going to be honest with you. I have a sweet tooth. Broker J3 can tell you that. At one point, every meal, guys, I kid you not, every meal, I wanted something sweet at the end of that meal. Because I have a sweet tooth. But I stopped eating sweets. And once you stop eating sweets, you don't miss it. Same thing with salt content. If you stop eating salt, then you don't miss the salt, okay? And also another thing that you need to do, in addition to drinking the water, doing some exercise, and even if it's not walking, cutting down on your sugar, you also want to get your sleep. Don't wait for the doctor to scare you straight. Okay, guys, you can do it beforehand. Remember, prevention, what?
It's cheaper than prescription.
Yes, it is.
All right, guys. And another thing, get those checkups too. That's very vital, guys. Especially as you get older, that is one of the main things you really have to do is start getting those checkups. Go see your doctor. Don't play with it. Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing weak about seeing no doctor. And I'm saying that to a lot of the men. You might have a little pain in your shoulder or your neck. Sometimes your chest might feel a little off. You're thinking it's heartburn. Mm-hmm. Don't take any chances. The older you get, go see a doctor because it could be something that's warning you that it could be something much greater. And remember, if you catch things early, you can live longer.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. And remember, guys, prevention is cheaper than prescriptions. Okay. Shout out to ATL. Someone said walking at Piedmont Park right now while listening to y'all.
Okay,
Steps, get those steps in.
Monroe Drive in the house.
Yeah, get those steps in. Yes, yes.
Yeah, ATL, stand up, walk them laps for us too.
I know that's
and
right.
Big shout out to Big Daddy, Ira, Latoya, Telly, on my nerves. Okay.
All right now.
Okay. Yeah. We appreciate you guys joining us. Like I said, we on multiple platforms. So, if we don't get a chance to call your name, don't get upset with us. We're trying to catch everybody. And guys, make sure you guys remember to follow our top gifters.
Yes.
We really appreciate them, and we want you guys to follow them. So do that right now. If you see them at the top of the screen, make sure you follow them right now. We always want you guys to follow our top gifters because they help to keep this platform going. And guys, we do have gift goals. So if you see that we have a gift goals, help us to reach that goal. We always appreciate it. Okay. So now, Doc B, let's, we done talked about the health. We done talked about, some of the things that you can do to make the health much better. So let's talk about that style. Let's talk about that skin, and let's talk about the swag. All right, guys, over 50.
Let's talk about the glow. And people ask me all the time, how do I keep my skin glowing at 50 plus? I am a fanatic for antioxidant to clean my skin, and of course it's very important. A lot of people put on so much makeup. They have the makeup caked on, but what you need is a makeup that's going to make you look more natural. And I don't wear a lot of makeup. People probably say she look a horrible mess, but I just don't believe in wearing a lot of makeup. But you want to take care of your skin to make sure that it's moisturized every day. And then you put some type of moisturizer on it, especially before you go to bed. So, I pay close attention to my skin, and I do that on a daily basis. So, of course, the water, we talked about that earlier. You definitely want to drink a lot of water too, if you possibly can, because that helps your skin as well.
All right. Tell them, Doc. Tell them.
Hydration, baby. Yes. And joy. And the key to it is you can't buy joy at Sephora's. Joy makes your skin glow better than any cream. I think what it is it's your outlook on life. Just like when you go into a room, when you go into a room, people will notice you sometimes based on how you feel about yourself. If you're confident, you go into the room and you own the room. But if you go into the room and you have low self-esteem, you don't feel good about yourself, then that also affects your appearance. So when you go somewhere and you own it. And think like I think. God bless you with whatever you have, whatever your nose, your eyes. Some people feel like their nose too big, their eyes too small, their butts too big or whatever. But God blessed you with what you have. So you should own what you have, regardless. Somebody will see the beauty in you.
Yeah. And guys, in regards to even with your facial, a lot of times I tend to smile a lot. And for me personally, it could just, it's for me personally, but I always felt like that me smiling a lot always kept my face tight, kept the wrinkles off my face.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, as Doc B said, sometimes your mood can really affect how you actually look. And fellas, listen, gray hair is not a curse. I know, like Doc B said, sometimes, I hit a little color on it. I felt like doing that for my birthday yesterday, but I actually miss my gray, because it's not a curse. It's actually that seasoning. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like seasoned food always tastes better.
Yeah.
True enough, it gives you a little aged look, but at the same time, it's not a curse, guys. It's a blessing.
And I'm for the sisters out there, it may be some. I mean, I think a man looks sexy with gray hair, gray beard, because that means to me that he's comfortable in his own skin. One thing about black men, and white men, I'll be honest with you, they can wear beards, they can wear gray beards, but it's the confidence level that they have. If you go in a room and you have low self-esteem and you don't think you look good, don't you think the world is going to think that same thing? But Black men can wear gray beards. They can wear a bald head and gray beards, but they still can wear it, and they can wear it well, so they should own it.
Yeah, and shout out to Pecan Tan.
Thank you.
We see Pecan Tan that has joined us.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming in and doing your thing. We appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for the gifts, Pecan Tan.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
we appreciate it. And guys, remember, like I always say, please make sure you guys follow our top gift givers. Mm-hmm. We want you guys to always follow them. Please do that. We always encourage that.
Someone says single moms raise sassy sons. Is that what that says? Yeah, this live is the proof. I agree with you. Okay, I'll take that.
All right. We also have a millennial wrote, I hope I look that good at 50. Oh, thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
Again, it goes back to what Doc B was saying before. Just taking care of yourself. Don't wait. If whatever age you are right now, millennial, make sure you take care of yourself now, so that when you are over 50, like myself and Doc B, you can still look good. Don't wait, and do not wait. Never wait. Start right now. Right now.
Yeah. Now I can say my oldest son is a little bit more conscious of what he eats and his body. I'm still working on my middle and my youngest son, so that they're more conscious, because right now is the age, just like Broker J3 said, when they hit their 30s up into their 40s, they really need to be conscious of what they're doing to their bodies right now. They don't need to start when they hit 50. Now, even if they were to stop smoking, like some people do at 50, that's okay. That's a good thing anytime you do that. But you want to become more conscious of it in your 30s.
Exactly. Exactly.
And if you take care of yourself now, it will definitely show in your 50s.
Yeah, and keep tuning in to your uncle and your auntie, because we dropping those gems for free.
We're letting you guys know what it takes. Okay, now relationships and energy after 50.
Now
this is key.
Yeah, this is a big one, because it's kind of major. So I'll share a little personal story with you guys. I was divorced a little over 3 years ago. So as if you guys paid attention early in the podcast, I am 56 since yesterday.
I'm 59
since yesterday. So being single over 50 is already a challenge in itself, because it's not like we was in our 20s or 30s. It's a little bit different now. So people see us different. Men see women different. Women see men different, especially when you're over 50. So we're going to break it down a little bit, because, the dating game has changed. When we was coming up, they used to call it courting. Say, for instance, if I liked you and you liked me, I went out with you. We went to the movies, went to dinner, and I'm only talking to you. I'm not going out with nobody else. But see, this new generation nowadays, I go out with you tonight. I go out with Barbara tomorrow. I go out with Henrietta the next day. I go out with Susie the next day. And I'm trying to figure out which one I really like. But you cannot determine who you really like when you're sharing so much time with all of those women. But we're going to get into that. Dating after 50, again, it hits a bit different. You don't got time for the games. Not when you didn't have time when you was younger, but trust me, the older you get, you definitely don't have the time.
What I need someone to do is to share with us what the dating game looks like after the age of 50. Now, I've been told, I don't know for sure, but I do have some friends that live in the Atlanta area, and I have some friends that live in the Macon area. They said Atlanta is it's terrible. It's like 30 to 1, 30 women to one man. In the Macon area, it's like 25 women to one man. So the dating game, even after the age of 50, is still scarce. It's becoming, because there's not a lot of, I don't know what's happening with the men that are single. I guess most men are married, and there's a lot of, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of Black men who are incarcerated. But share with us. But what's happening in some of the larger cities is some people are just the men, and Broker J3 may be able to elaborate on this a little bit more. They're just dating 3 or 4 women at the same time.
Yeah, and jumping back to the Atlanta scene real quick, that number is skewed a lot because, as Doc B said, first of all, you got a lot of men that's in jail, and everybody knows about Atlanta. Have the pride community, the LBGT, community is really large in Atlanta. So you have a lot of men that prefer other men as opposed to women. So, that reduces that number or that ratio so much. So that means that women have a hard time actually trying to find a good single man because again, most women are going to get that single man, that good one. They're going to try to get him real quick because they're not going to stay on the market that long, especially in cities like Atlanta.
No, so that's what's happening. So you're saying men are dating 3 and 4 women? Is that sometimes more than that?
They are. I'm not going to lie. I have a couple of friends that I know before, but they're actually in relationships now. All of them except for one. I have 4 really really good friends, and except for one, 3 of them are actually in great committed relationships right now, and one of them they're still dating. And I've experienced it firsthand. I go visit him. He have a female over there, and we hang out, and whatnot. And then a couple of days later, I'll go over there with somebody else, and for me it's confusing because I can't remember your name. I don't want to call you Natalie and your name Susie. That's the name you told me the other day. Oh, this is somebody else. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And so for me, getting the feedback from my friends is that, and they'll tell you, what's out there is not worth anything. And they'll use that comment. There's nothing out there. They use that comment when it comes to dating. There's nothing out there. In other words, the men that are more quality men are already taken. And then the ones that just want to screw around, I'm just going to keep it real, are the ones that they usually encounter. And like I said, most of them, they're not looking for no relationship. They definitely not looking for any type of commitment. They're just out there playing the field, which can be dangerous.
So what does that mean, Doc B?
Either we're building or we're leaving each other alone. So that's what women should be saying. But sometimes it's sad to say that some women get caught up in just wanting to be with somebody and not wanting to be alone. So they end up in those relationships with a man that's not going to commit. They know he's dating more than one person, more than her. And then also some are even willing to have relationships with married men, which is sad to say.
So, and now if you are over 50 and married, keeping it spicy is really important because you don't want to stop dating your spouse, and continue to go to the movies and take those trips, because especially at our age, most of our kids are probably grown. So you don't have any little ones in the house unless they are your grandkids. So continue to date, your spouse, go out, go dancing, select a night out the week or every 2 weeks, or if your schedule is too busy, once a month. Make sure you make it a habit once a month, twice a month, 3 days, whatever your schedule is. Make sure you make it a habit to have that date night because you guys have to reconnect and keep that love spicy. You have to keep it spicy.
Okay, CJ and Omar Ding Ding, thank you for joining us. Jerome Millender, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for being a part of the JMB family. We're going to keep this conversation going. Over 50, looking good and feeling better. Okay, they said, does your son's husband take care of himself? I'm not sure what that comment means. Can you elaborate on that? I'm not sure. Son's husband. Neither one of my sons have husbands, so I'm not sure what you mean by that. Elaborate and let us know exactly what you mean. Thank you, Jean Mitch, for your gifts. We appreciate you guys. Keep those gifts coming. And guys, guess what? When you're in a relationship, and sometimes when you're not in a relationship, but you still want to keep them fake friends, you want to cut them off. You want to keep them out of your business, out of your life. We did a podcast a while back
Cut 'em,
about
cut 'em.
cutting off those
Cut 'em.
fake friends and
Cut 'em.
keeping folks out of your business. Everybody don't need to know what's happening with you in your relationship. It's none of their business. If you want them to know, you can tell them. But it's very important that you don't have everybody in your business and you cut off those fake friends.
Yeah, we have one of our we have one comment in the chat that says over 50 means over fake friends.
Yeah.
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
All right, guys. So here's what I want you to do. Type facts in the chat if you cut somebody off just for peace of mind. Type in facts, or you can put the 100 emoji in there as well if you had to cut somebody off just to have peace of mind.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have cut off at least 2 or 3 people just for peace of mind, because if you've got those friends and you have a conversation with them and you're exhausted after that conversation, then you might need to cut them off because they're draining you. They're taking all of your energy. Yeah, and most of the time, sometimes they only want you to hear their problems. They don't want to hear what you're going through.
No,
so you may have to cut them off.
They don't have time for it.
Yeah.
So you know what? Now let's talk about the generational round table real quick. Doc, let's do it. Old school versus new school. When we have kids, our exercise was running to catch the ice cream truck. When we was kids, that was our exercise. We was all over the place, riding the bicycle, skating. We was doing everything when we was kids.
Now, Broker J3, these kids now, sometimes 6, 7 years old, they sitting on TikTok for 12 hours. They up at 10 o'clock at 11 o'clock at night on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. Come on, guys. What's going on?
Yeah, the difference is, we're chasing blood pressure meds now instead of bomb props. That's what we doing, because right now it's more important to us to worry about our health more so than what we was doing back then.
Okay. All right, guys. So here's the truth, guys. Every generation got something to teach. Our grandparents, they ate from the land. They harvest every year, usually this time of the year. They lived a long time. We got to mix that wisdom in with the modern science. People they lived a long time, a good age a long time ago. My grandmother lived to 91, but they didn't have all of the chemicals and stuff in the foods and the produce, the meats and the produce and stuff like that. So that's why you have to be smart with how you live. Okay. So Texas is checking in. Thank you, Big Dog, Hensley Tyler, George Michael, and Firestar. Thank you guys for joining us. Says 60 and teaching my grandkids yoga. That's an excellent idea.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
They do need to know some type of exercise.
Now, Texas, you are a real MVP. Show them youngins how it's done.
Yes,
that's right. Do it while they are young. We appreciate you doing that.
Good evening, DJ Dirk Diggum. How are you this evening?
He says good. All right. Appreciate you.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Hey, Mickey. Okay, guys. So, family, let me leave you with this. Being over 50 is not a decline. Don't mean that you're getting ready to leave this earth. It's a rebirth. It's a blessing. Every wrinkle that you have tells a story. Every gray hair is a badge of honor. You've survived, you've learned, and now you get to live smarter. Protect your health. Laugh often, enjoy yourself. Don't get caught up in your kids' drama all the time. Focus on you, love yourself, and stay surrounded by people who lift you up. None of those fake friends. Joy is the best anti-aging cream.
That's right, guys.
Yes.
And my final take on today's podcast, B, is, fam, listen to your uncle. Listen to me right now. Over 50 does not mean that you're slowing down, okay? It just means you finally know what lane you're riding in, okay? Forget the noise, all right? Chase your peace and keep your faith strong. Remember, you ain't old, you're seasoned, okay? And seasoned folks know how to live better, love deeper, and shine brighter. Okay.
All right. DJ Dirk Diggum says he's 52 and feels like 25 most of the time. I'm with you. I'm 59 and I feel like I'm like in my late 30s, maybe early 40s. I don't feel 59. I have to actually remind myself that, hey, girl, you close to 50, but I don't feel it. And I think that's primarily because of how I live, how I eat, and I'm very health conscious, I don't miss any appointments, because I believe in taking care of this one body that I have. And that's how you got to see life itself as well. Take care of that one body that God gave you.
Exactly, Doc B,
Mhm.
because for your young folks out there, our life is not like a video game. You can't lose your life and then start over like a video game.
Mhm.
This is the only life that you have. So you have to take care of it, you have to cherish it, and you have to nourish it. Again,
Mhm.
that's mentally, physically, and spiritually. Is you have to be well rounded all together, because it all works hand in hand. Guys, we appreciate you guys rocking with us today.
Mhm.
Again, don't forget to like, comment, share, and you can still continue to send the gifts whether you are or we're online or not. And remember, go to our YouTube page. If you're streaming with us live on YouTube right now, that's at Live with JNB, and that's JANDB, Live with JNB, on our YouTube page. And we are all over the place, guys. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook,
Mhm.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Music, everywhere on social media or wherever you get your podcast from. JNB Live Podcast. We are there, guys.
And DJ Dirk Diggum, I would like to know what you're doing, so that you don't feel, some of the things that you're doing that may, prevent you from feeling 52. Because just think about it, if you're doing something and you feel 25 and you're 52, share that with the audience, the listeners, so that they'll know what they can possibly do. Just like what we just did. We shared with you guys how we look, the way that we look. Like I said, we're only going based on what people tell us. You may feel like, hey, girl, look 65, but based on what people have said, that I don't look my age, that I don't look like I have 3 adult sons. We're sharing with you what we do as far as our lifestyle, as far as our health, for our skincare products and stuff like that. And then our inner self, how we just, approach life, how we're confident. So share that with us, and share that with the audience, so maybe someone can take what you're saying and they can go with that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it could be, your eating regimen,
Yeah.
or or whatever you do, and even if we're not online, you can still share
Yeah,
that. You
absolutely.
can still share that so that our people can still be able to go back and see it, because health is wealth. And we want everybody to be enriched and enlightened, especially in regards to life over 50,
Yeah.
because that's what me and Doc B are living right now.
Mhm.
And my youngest son told me he's not going to call me old until I'm over 60.
Oh, really?
So I got just a couple years left, Then after that, my youngest son is going to start calling me old. But
Okay.
until then, I'm not old, Doc
But
B.
you know what? Now my kids, none of them refer to me as old, so that's a good thing for now. Now my grandkids, that's a different story. Okay, guys. So Broker J3 just shared with you all of the platforms that we are available on. So thank you guys for being a part of the JNB family. We love you. We appreciate your support. It goes a long way. We don't take anything for granted. Not anything. So, join us back here. We're going to be live again, Broker J3. I let Broker J3 tell me when we're going to go live again, because sometimes he likes to do other than the Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, we're probably gonna I'm not sure it tomorrow, because believe it or not, guys, we're going to see Pastor Jamal Bryant tomorrow.
That's right.
Tomorrow evening.
Yes,
so
right.
we may not see you guys tomorrow, but we may give you a little special session on Saturday. We may give you a soul session. We might have a few words.
Yes. We're gonna do. What are you guys thinking about us doing a music like a little music event? We both love music. I mean, I can just listen to all different genres of music. I'm a music fanatic. And we thought about just doing an episode where we just focus on music that we love. So, we would love for you guys to join us if we do that. But if you think that that's not a good idea, that's not a good look for J&B, let us know.
It's hard to say, because we get so much responses on our concert series, where me and Doc B, we go to these concerts, and we get a lot of people that say big things about that. So who knows? We'll see, and we'll let you guys know if we decide to do the music thing on Saturday. So we'll appreciate you guys
we'll
for
post
joining
it
us.
early.
Yeah, we'll post it early.
Now, I do want to post what DJ Dirk Diggum said. He says music. Oh wow, and that may have maybe a reason why Broker J3 and I look younger as well. We love music and eating right, and no matter the situation, ain't nothing bigger than God. Amen.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Thank you.
Yes.
I can attest to that as well. Thank you for adding that to that, because I don't think you can make it and be healthy without God. I really don't. Okay. Now someone else says, why do you do to stay healthy? I'm a wellness educator and would love to know some of the tools you use. Okay. So of course, walking is number one for me, because walking allows you to use all of your body parts. A lot of people think walking is just not for everybody, but that's what helps me. And I try to walk anywhere from 12 to 15 miles a week. And I think that helps me. But I am going to start a segment up as well where I'm focused on more exercise, because I want to do more toning. You know, I'm able to get those steps in, but also I want to do some toning as well. So stay tuned to that as well. But thank you for your comment, wellness nurse educator. We appreciate you guys. Okay. All right, guys. I am your girl. I am your favorite auntie, Dr. B.
And I'm your boy, your uncle, you know, that guy, Broker J3. And guys, like we always like to tell you guys about everything that we do. You know what? Let's talk about it.
Okay. And yes, we will join your community nurse, a wellness nurse educator. Thank